Very good morning, everybody, for Tuesday, the 21st of June. Looking at the weather forecast today, it's going to be quite a sort of tricky one to predict when the blue thermals go. It'll also be a bit tricky if the Met Office's website doesn't work. So we'll go straight to the weather with the satellite picture. So satellite picture over the UK shows some top cover currently just starting to feed in from the south. Not particularly going to affect us too much, but it will. That's happening this morning. Temperatures are going to be really the factor which are going to be behind whether today sort of works or not and what time we get going. It does look like at the moment that we'll be getting going sort of lunchtime onwards. Looking at the forecast today, so that is the synoptic state of play. Fronts generally clear of the UK, reasonable visibility and very little cloud, if I'm honest. This talks about isolated bits of cloud across the UK with very light winds generally trending easterly. Those winds at heights, once it loads, winds at heights are generally looking in the region of easterly, maybe even variable in the centre of the country, less than 5 knots. The public forecast for today shows that there'll be mixed upper level cloud throughout the day with a top temperature of 22 degrees with that light wind. Visibility not quite as good as it was yesterday, but humidity figures still quite low, showing that it will be probably quite blue today. On GFS, the top temperature might be slightly higher than that. We could see 23 or 24 in our area. And if that does happen, then we're likely to see some higher blue conditions, maybe in excess of 5,000 feet. Dew points, on the other hand, will drop quite significantly, maybe dropping well into single figures, down to 5s or 4s. We'll just have to see. There's a number of different ascents to look at really today to work out what's going on. Probably more chance of cumulus in the southwest, where the air is just that little bit more moist. Farnborough currently reporting a slight northerly, no cloud detected, and during the day, Cab OK, easy as that, with that southwesterly wind it looks like there. Gatwick looking very similar, with Cab OK and a slight northerly wind again, and a few at 1,500 feet. Currently at Lasham with a temperature of about 16 and a dew point of around 10. And the sounding for today looks a bit like that, which shows some fairly solid inversions, needing at least particularly high with 18 degrees. So hopefully the air might warm out just that little bit more than this suggests, but it certainly will not be an early start today. Very, very dry, almost pretty much no chance of cumulus today in our area, slightly better out to the southwest. David hasn't updated his forecast yet, but will be likely to in the not too distant future. But he's sort of saying on similar lines that the picture is quite interesting. Looking at potential flight distance, reasonable in our area once it gets going, better up to the northwest and southwest where there might be a bit more chance of cumulus and a slightly earlier start. Looking at midday, we're probably getting convection heat driven up to around 3,000 to 3,500 feet above the airfield. To Wales, slightly better, and into the southwest, as you can see, that chance of a little bit more cumulus and getting going a little bit earlier there. As you can see, even at 2 o'clock, we're still only scraping around 3,500 here, whilst into the Welsh Hills and mountains, you're seeing closer to 5,000 to 6,000 feet. If the heating continues to build as it should, then you are likely to see at last the convection rise if we get sort of maybe even 5,000 feet with 23 degrees, and that's quite widely the case to our west. Not so good to the east, definitely good up towards Wales, it suggests. And obviously it's the longest day solstice wise, so 6 o'clock, it still seems to be working. Maybe some sea breeze fronts in areas which are close to the coast, but 6:30 should still be working quite nicely to 4,500 feet, and still working in the Welsh Mountains at 7 o'clock. Cloud amounts, let's have a look. Sort of shows that there will be sort of bits of high cover that sort of float around during the day, mostly blue, and yeah, you have to travel quite a long distance to see much Q. Site forecast shows 3 climbs up to a top base today. Humidity figure very low. Look at that, getting down into the low 20s. And yeah, this is predicting that with 24 degrees, which may be a degree more than is likely to happen. But if it does happen, that'd be quite pleasant. Look at that, dew points down to 3. So yeah, no chance at all. Very, very dry air across us. Sky sight is sort of broadly similar. Just look at the distance today of where you might be able to go. Again, southwest, northwest seems to be best. We're just sort of on the edge of where it gets enough heat. For once, London's not the centre of that. This afternoon, mid-afternoon, we're looking at the West Country and the Northwest, having those bases of up to 5,000 feet and reasonable thermal strengths, and hopefully not too broken during the day. So yeah, fairly reasonable. Just have a look at cloud cover as well. The red stuff being that slightly more high cover, which will float around during the day, not affecting too much of our area, but yeah, it shows there's plenty more cumulus. And we'll have a look at convergence as well. I think that convergence line did set up that that was forecast here, because I could see it in the distance. Probably not quite as well organised today, but there's a chance of some sea breezes in certain places. It didn't look like particularly that we would see a major sea breeze front come through until late in the day here at Lasham. Okay, airspace wise, Glastonbury is active at the moment, so if you are heading out that way, don't get too close to Glastonbury. They are active up to 3,100 feet. Probably won't affect you, but Stonehenge is active till 11 o'clock up to the similar level, 3,000 feet. Danger areas in the vicinity of the Salisbury Plain, Everley active today, all day up to 3,000 feet. If you are heading in that sort of direction and you're going to fly the top of danger area, it may be worth talking to London Information or Boscombe. There's some controlled airspace temporary going on slightly to the north of us at Bryce Norton, but I think that'll be out of the way by the time you're airborne. 11:25, the controlled airspace temporary at Bryce Norton finishes, and the base of the top of the Bryce Norton CTR will be raised to 4,000 feet, and that's still 11:25 also. Aerobatics at Sywell, some other sort of paragliding NOTAMs, 42, 43, 47. Fly past at Ross on Y at, in fact, that's not even today. Lots of paragliding going on in Gloucestershire. Some articles being dropped in Hertfordshire up to 520 feet. Well, if you'd be that low, I think you've got more things to worry about. And there is some activity down on the coast today in the Lulworth areas and some of the danger areas by the coast. They might be doing some parachute jumping close to Bournemouth. I don't think that'll affect you too much today, but just worth bearing in mind if you're in that area. But that's about it on NOTAMs. Operationally, we'll see if the wind settles down. We've got a jet movement to come first, so jet movement's at around 9:40. Once that's happened, we'll determine which direction looks best, whether the wind does allow us to go down the hill with a westerly, or if we are on 09. But we'll be on the main runway in any case, and it looks to be another lovely day. So enjoy what is summer solstice, and I'll see you on the airfield shortly. Bye.